Shalom. First off, I want to give all honors, all glory, and all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone GMS Ruel. Peace and blessings be unto the elect, and to all you brothers that lift up the name of Yahweh and Yahushai, which Yahweh is the Hebrew name for who the world calls God or the Most High, and the Hebrew name for who the world calls Jesus. His Hebrew name is Yahushai, which means he is the Savior. But for all the brothers that push those names to you, I say Shalom. This is the brother Halal from the Great Millstone GMS Chicago camp, and this lesson is going to be about a cautionary tale that a lot of brothers should be paying attention to. Especially when dealing with these women on these dating apps, man. A simple mistake can lead to you losing your life, and that's what this man by the name of Brother Joseph on TikTok is about to explain. So I'm about to let this video play. And Lord will, this lesson is edifying to the body of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
All men and women, be very careful when you go to people's homes. Don't trust no one. People lie, especially people that you met off a dating app. If you're not careful, it can turn deadly. Quick. This 29-year-old father with 3 kids from Sacramento, California, that was a construction worker, was stabbed 32 times by this woman's husband. This man was sleeping with the married woman, not knowing she was married, and she lived with her husband. She never wore her ring. One day, this woman's husband came home early from work because he was sick, and he called his wife and another man making love in their bed. His wife was bent over with no clothes on. When the wife realized she was caught red-handed with the husband, she started yelling and screaming and crying, saying the man was raping her and he had a weapon. The husband then charged the man, and they got in a very bad fight after the wife told the husband he was raping her. The man was screaming and yelling at the husband, saying the wife is lying, but the husband wasn't trying to hear it. While the husband and this man was fighting, the wife ran to the kitchen and grabbed a sharp weapon and gave it to the husband, and the husband took this man's life with no hesitation.
So as you can see, while this woman got caught red-handed in a bed with another man, all consensual intercourse, she lied to her husband and said that this man was taking advantage of her. And it led to this man, losing his life.
Wife then called law enforcement and said a man broke in the house and she was raped and her husband was fighting the man. When law enforcement got there, they did a full investigation. The husband and wife end up going to jail for taking this man's life. Come to find out, the wife been sleeping with this man for over 6 months. This man the wife was cheating with would text and talk on a daily basis. She always told him she was single and she was roommates with her brother. Let me explain. This construction worker met this woman on a dating app. They went on several dates before they started sleeping together. When this man tried to talk to her on a dating app, her profile said she was single. When they first started talking, the man would always ask her, why is a beautiful woman like you single? She would always say she haven't found the right man yet. They end up exchanging numbers online, and they went on several dates together, and they would talk all the time. They really liked each other. After they went on several dates, they started to sleep together 2 to 3 times a week. They would do it in the morning time. Mind you, the husband worked morning shift and the wife worked night shift. So when the kids is going to school and the husband is gone, she would bring the man to the house. Also, the wife and the husband was having serious issues in their marriage. They had a lot of financial issues. They wasn't even sleeping together, even though they shared a bed together. But their lives would change forever. One day when the husband went to work, he got very sick and he came home early. And he caught his wife sleeping with another man in their bed. When the husband took this man's life, law enforcement did a full investigation and they had all the wife text messages. The wife was planning to move with that man, and she was texting her sister saying she's going to divorce her husband soon. When law enforcement confronted the wife about the text, she confessed to everything. She said she was having an affair. She said she didn't love her husband anymore. Law enforcement then asked her why did she lie and say she was raped if she was really in a relationship with that man. She said she was scared and she didn't know what to do. She then told law enforcement she really regret her decision and she feel very bad about everything. But when the husband found out he took the man's life over a lie, he broke down and started crying, and he said he wanted a divorce from his wife. They was both charged with taking this man's life. He left behind 3 daughters. He never knew this woman was married. When you dealing with people you don't know well, be careful, because people lie. If you're not careful, it can cost you your life.
So there you have it, man. A very cautionary tale of how, being adulterous can lead to you losing your life, man. So this woman was lying to her husband and lying to this man for 6 months, telling him that she was single when the whole time she had a husband and children. And when she was, bringing the children out, letting them get on the school bus, and her husband was going to work, she was cheating with this man until she eventually got caught, which led to this man losing his life over a lie. So I'm going to start this off, of course, with 1 Ezra chapter 4 and verse 26. And it says, "Yea, many there be that have run out of the wits for women, and have become servants for their sakes. Many also have perished, and have erred, and have sinned, all for women." And this man ended up losing his life because he thought that this woman was single, only to find out that she had a husband and children. And that's the case with a lot of these women, man. You see these YouTubers, making these videos, asking these women what's their body count. And their average body count is around, like 500. Anywhere from 100 to 200. So the whole time you dealing with this woman, you think that you're the only one. And it's about 50 to 100 dudes in her phone alone, man. She got a side dude, a work husband. Just committing adultery, and it leads to what? To death. Because what happens when a man gets jealous? He takes this other man's life. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 25 and verse 13. And it says, "Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman," right? That's a very wicked thing to do. To be cheating and committing adultery against your husband and then lie and end up getting this man killed and getting your husband put in jail for the rest of his life. That is a very wicked thing to do. Skipping down to verse 19, it says, "All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman." So all the wickedness that you can possibly think of, being in the alphabet community, all that wickedness is little to the wickedness of these women, man. Here it is, you get this woman's number, and the whole time she got 100 other dudes in her phone texting her every day, giving her all this attention and validation. Verse 25, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gather abroad. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. But as you can see in this story, this woman was cheating on her husband and planned to divorce him and take all of his money afterwards. So this right here is a prime example about why, a lot of men shouldn't be getting married in this Western system, because you can get all your finances taken from you. While this woman can be with another man, they can get a house together. She can take your kids from you, and you have to actually go to the court in order to obtain your own children. That just shows you the wickedness of this Western system in Western marriage. Because according to the scriptures, I don't know exactly which one it is, but the children belong to the father. So the fact that the Western system deals with something like this, with a husband getting cheated on, and he can get all of his finances taken and get his children taken away from him, that shows you why Babylon the Great needs to be destroyed, man. The next scripture I'll go to is this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 15. And it says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." Right? We're living in very evil times right now. So when you deal with the relationship world, you have to be very careful who you are sleeping with. Especially these modern women, because they have upwards of 100 to 500 bodies on average. I seen this interview, this podcast, and this one woman said that she has so many, casual partners that she couldn't even name them all. She said she had 1,000 to 2,000 partners in her entire lifetime, men and women. So these women are just going around. These women are complete cum rags, man. No, excuse my language. It says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil, right? And you can get your life taken, by being with these women in general. That's why it's just best for Apostle Paul, like Apostle Paul said, those that have wives, be as though they had none. And I'm going to end this off with the book of Genesis, chapter 39, and verse 2. And it says, and the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian Pharaoh. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and made him the overseer over his house and all that he had put into his hand. And it came to pass that from that time that he had made him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake, and the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in his house and in the field. Right, so when Joseph was sold to Egypt, he ended up becoming the governor of Egypt under the Egyptian Pharaoh. Basically, he was the second in command over all of Egypt, which is why when you read further in the book of Genesis, that the 12 sons, that they went to Egypt, and Joseph had the appearance of an Egyptian because he was the second in command over that land. But I'm just going to go down to the point, verse 7, and it says, and it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master watereth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me. But because thou art his wife, how can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? So this man's wife was trying to sleep with Joseph and commit adultery, but he was like, no, man, I'm the second in command over all of Egypt, and because of the law. And that proves that the law existed even back during the ancient world in the book of Genesis, before Moses even wrote the laws on the tablets in the first place. Verse 9, there is none greater in this house than I am, neither hath he kept back anything from me. But thee, because thou art his wife, how can I do this great wickedness and sin against the Most High? And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her to lie with her or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. So she basically tried to force Joseph to sleep with her, and he tried to get away from her, and she snatched a piece of his garment off. Verse 13, and it came to pass, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, saying, see, he hath brought in a Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. So after Joseph said that he didn't want to lie with her, she made up a false accusation that he had taken advantage of her. Let's read it in the NLT. It says, she called out to her servants. Soon all the men came running. Look, she said, my husband has brought this Hebrew slave here to make fools of us. He came into my room to take advantage of me, but I screamed. So as you can see right there, this adulterous woman, after Joseph, denied her, she made up a false accusation that she was taken advantage of, just like this woman did. Although these stories aren't exactly one and the same, it still has similar connotations to it. So I'm just going to skip down to the end. And it says, verse 18, and it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me, and he fled out. And it came to pass, when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spake unto him, after this manner did thy servant, that his wrath was kindled. And Joseph's master took him and put him inside the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. So as you can see right there, Joseph denied trying to sleep with his wife, and this adulterous woman ended up, putting out a false accusation, which had him put inside a prison, which is the exact same thing that this woman did in this TikTok video, man. She made up a false accusation because she was caught red-handed, and it led to one man losing his life and his husband receiving life in prison. So let this be a cautionary tale to all you men that aim to commit adultery with other men's wives, man. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying, and I want to give all honor, all glory, and all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone GMS of Ruel Shalom, and Abba Babal, and until the next lesson.